Planet Dolan.
From cosplaying together to dropping YouTube comments, the Planet Dolan Crew reenacts some of the best true stories from our subreddit about how we met our significant others. I'm Zaragamba and today I'll be your narrator. Number 10 was submitted by Spyroman12. Tolop was dating a girl and he had found out the girl was cheating on him with another guy. So they broke up and he went to talk to the other guy's girlfriend, Spincess. Tolop found her sitting alone in the library. Tolop went up to her and said, "Hey, your boyfriend is cheating on you. You might want to talk to him about this." She replied by saying, "You are a dick. He would never do something like this to me. You need to stay out of other people's business." She eventually found out the truth and they broke up. From there, one thing led to another and 7 years later, the two of them are married with a baby. Number 9 was submitted by TheChaosPuppet. One night, Nixium decided to go to the monthly potluck at the occult bookstore he frequented. When he walked in, he saw the most beautiful girl he had ever laid eyes on and instantly fell in love. It turned out the girl and her friend came by every other Friday, so Nixium decided to come in and see her a couple of times a month. They became good friends, but she already had a boyfriend, so Nixium decided the best thing to do was to not pursue her and just become friends. After about 4 or 5 months, she broke up with her boyfriend, but Nixium thought it wouldn't be right to swoop in on her on the rebound. Eventually, she told Nixium that she had feelings for him, and he came clean about his own feelings. The next summer, the bookstore owner officiated their marriage, and they've been together 8 years since. Number 8 was submitted by RedGoalie88. Salty Squid was playing hockey and saw a really cute girl on his team. Salty Squid was the goalie, and one day, while skating around looking at her, he slammed his face into the goalposts and got a concussion. But while he was getting medical treatment, Salty Squid managed to get her number, and they've been dating for about 2 years. Number 7 was submitted by AbbeyBug1000. Andy and her boyfriend Adam were both on the cross-country team. They both had the same race pace and ended up running exactly next to each other every day. Andy developed a crush on him, but despite being right next to each other, Andy was too nervous to speak to him. Eventually, Adam said hi. Once they started talking, they realized they had a lot in common and became really good friends. When the cross-country season ended, Andy was afraid she would never talk to him again because they were in different grades. But then they both ended up playing the lead roles in the school musical Grease. Adam said he didn't have the guts to ask Andy out for months, but he eventually did. Number 6 was submitted by Dr. Hugh Jass. Sid was 16 and looking for a new job. He was complaining about his fast food job when his crush asked if he wanted a job where she worked. The answer was absolutely yes. Sid got the job but spent most of his time at his crush's beck and call, doing everything for her. Eventually, he went on a date with his crush, her friend, and her friend's cousin. Everyone in the group was trying to ship Sid and the cousin, but they weren't interested in each other. But later, Sid went to the mall and saw the cousin that they were trying to set him up with. She was going to the theatre to see the same movie as Sid, so they went as friends and never called it a date. From there, they started spending a lot of time together, but it wasn't until 3 years later that Sid officially asked her out. They've been dating for 5 years, not including the 3 years they were kind of dating but not officially. Number 5 was submitted by KawaiiKittyArt. Snoopy actually met her girlfriend through YouTube. She commented on Snoopy's video and she found out they lived in the same small country. They started chatting through Skype and Snoopy fell for her quickly. After about 5 months, the girl confessed to her and she was shocked. They decided to go out with each other. They've met up many times now and are planning to get into the same college. Number 4 was submitted by wishfulfeline. Emoji and her boyfriend both met as cosplayers. She was a fan of him online for a long time, but there was one convention where Emoji and her crush were both cosplaying and they ended up in the same restaurant. Emoji kept turning around to look at him, but she never worked up the courage to go over. The next day, they ended up cosplaying the same character, so Emoji used it as an opportunity to start a conversation. After that, they started talking almost every day over Skype. One night, Emoji and some friends, including her cosplay crush, were playing Truth or Dare. Emoji dared him to date her, and he freaked out and said yes. They've been dating for 3 years since. Number 3 was submitted by Darkwinderx. When he was 14, Hellbent was a regular in physical therapy because his knee would just dislocate randomly. Most of the staff were older and nice, but one day, Hellbent saw a cutie in sweats and a blue shirt. Hellbent decided to start flirting with every Chuck Norris joke he knew. That actually worked, and he eventually found out they went to the same church, and they grew closer to each other from there. It took months before Hellbent asked her out, but he did, and it worked. 5 years later, they're planning to move in together. Number 2 was submitted by spotpelt. When Doopy met her boyfriend, she was deeply in love with the girl he was dating at the time. Doopy and the girl had been good friends for a few years, and Doopy ended up falling pretty hard for her but never admitted it. After she started dating her boyfriend, she wanted Doopy to meet him and they ended up becoming good friends. Eventually they broke up and Doopy's crush essentially abandoned her for another boyfriend, never even speaking to her again. Doopy was hurt, but the boy she left was there for her. Eventually they admitted their feelings to each other and they've been together ever since. Number 1 is submitted by me and is how I met my partner. I used to be very into metal music. I used to go see a lot of metal and punk bands. I would go to shows a lot with friends, but on one night I went out expecting to see friends, or at least somebody I knew. I spent a long time walking around and didn't actually see anyone, which was a bit of a surprise. It was somewhere I went a lot and just expected to see people. After a while of walking around, a very cute girl asked me to take a picture of her group of friends. I stopped and took a picture and we chatted, and we got on really well, and we ended up speaking for most of the night. We didn't swap numbers or anything because I had a girlfriend at the time, but we saw each other a couple of times after that. We saw each other more and more, and eventually it worked out and we got together. And we've been together a long time since then. A huge thanks for the folks over in our Planet Dolan subreddit for submitting their stories. We have another question for you. What's the craziest thing your partner's ever done? Let us know in the Reddit page link below and you might be featured in a future countdown.
Check out the latest Dolan card update, Nixiumville, a new character, heaps of new skins, a new power up, new level, daily missions and offline mode. Download from the Android or iOS App Store and start racing today for free.
Well, that's it for this countdown, but catch you guys next time.